Turns out the man who died was low caste too. No one even bothered to report it. So I didn't need to take the blame after all. I thanked the landlord excitedly, but he kicked me away, seeing how I was treated. Anna and Jack got into a huge fight. Because she'd been educated, Anna cared about human rights and freedom. She couldn't stand the caste system anymore, or this family's obsession with status. So she came to me secretly late at night, asking me to take her to the airport. Before flying back to America, she gave me some money, saying it was her way of making things right. When Jack found out she left, he was furious and took all his anger out on me, trying to comfort him. I took him to eat street food and even took him to pray, telling him that if he prayed sincerely, Anna would come back. But all he got was divorce papers, and I became his punching bag again. As a servant, I was always loyal to Jack. But if he no longer saw me as a human being, then I decided I had no reason to stay loyal either. This was the first time.
Hey, how are the games going?
Look what you made me do!
I am so sorry about that.
You ruined my lunch and my controller!
Just give that to me.
Alright, well let's get to work on this butterscotchy mess. The entire controller is covered in butterscotch pudding and the outer layer is starting to form a shell, so I don't even think I could clean this thing. Instead of cleaning it, the butterscotch gives me the perfect idea to customize and build him a brand new one. First thing to do is to break down this boring stock controller so we can get to work on replacing the touchpad and popping in the new buttons. With the face done, we can move on to the internals and swap on the thumbsticks and triggers. Now with both pieces done, we can start screwing everything back together and adding the final touches to the butterscotch build. Let's go see what he thinks.
Alright, man, here's your controller back, good as new.
Is that mine?
It is.
Oh, that looks like my butterscotch pudding.
It is. You want to know why?
Why?
I used the butterscotch color from GameNetics.com.
Huh, that is sick, thanks.
Hey, how are the games?
If you spend Robux on Roblox outfit, you need to stop. This is how you can technically get free Roblox clothing and make your own Roblox clothing design.
I tried to buy an iPhone 16 from Temu, and something actually came in. Temu is like notorious for selling like fake products. So when I was scrolling on Temu, and I found an iPhone 16 that was priced really well, I knew that I had to be the test dummy for you guys. So let's see what we got. Wait, why does it look kind of fake, low-key? I think it's real. It looked a little bit sus when I first got it out. I don't know if I trust it. The screen itself is in great condition, and I believe it's real. It has an Apple logo, camera looks great. Okay, wow, so it's actually on and working. I guess I thought it would be like iCloud locks or a fake iPhone. So maybe Temu's not half bad. I tried to buy an iPhone 16 from Temu.
This is the world's lamest toy. They're called screen breaks, and they're based off of Cobby Lame, who went viral for doing this with his hands. And why are they the lamest toy? Well, every time I've gone to the store for the past 4 months, these things are untouched. No one wants them until today. Are you ready for the most life-changing toy ever? I know all of your jaws are dropped right now. You are so jealous that I own this and you don't. Also, it says you need to be 5 and up, but this thing has potential to be a weapon. Cobby Lame's toy is lame. This is the world's lamest toy. They're called screen breaks.
Make your own skin for Roblox with this app. You can use your imagination to design clothes and wear your self-designed.
I'm officially banned from every Costco in the country, and it's not because I tried to live in there or because I stole a bunch of their free samples. It's way worse this time. See, the other day I made a quick run to Costco to grab a couple snacks for a sleepover I was having later, and since I was in a rush, I didn't grab a shopping cart and was just taking things and filling up my arms. But even though I was carrying as much as I could, I still needed one more item, some maple syrup. So I grabbed one and put it in my pocket and then went and paid for the items. At least that's what I thought, because later that day, I realized that the maple syrup was still in my pocket and that I completely forgot to pay for it. So the next day, I went back to the Costco to pay for it, but before I could even get inside, this happened.
We know who you are. You didn't pay for that, man. Get out of here.
What?
Get out of here, man. We don't want you in.
I'm officially banned from every Costco in the country, and
I refuse to buy a new toothpaste until every last drop is out of my old tube. So instead of squeezing with every ounce of strength I have to get the tiniest little drop of toothpaste, I bought some toothpaste squeezers. This first one was banana colored, and it was a little difficult getting the toothpaste into this whole mechanism. And once I was squeezing it through, I realized that there was still a little bit of space left in the toothpaste, and it wasn't giving me the vacuum effect I was looking for. Now this one looked like it would do something, but it was actually very difficult loading it up. It literally broke after I spinned it twice. Finally, I saved the best for last. This one looked the most legit, so we put it to the test. Loading it up was pretty easy and simple, but after spinning and spinning and spinning and finally getting to the end, there was nothing left in the tube. And I had to do what no toothpaste tube owner wants to do. Now I need to let go of my old toothbrush. I refuse to buy a new toothpaste until... So
So my donkey dad keeps taking away my PC and telling me to touch grass. And I can't do that. So I snuck a mini gaming setup into his car. First, I grabbed my monitor and tried hiding it behind his seat. But when we hit a bump, he found out. So I got a smaller screen and placed it on his chair, so it's literally behind him. But when I loaded up again, he instantly heard my controller being way too loud. So I downgraded to an even smaller screen, which I hid inside this book and took it to the car. So now I can finally game in peace.
Dad, do you like my book?
Yeah, very nice.
What are you doing? What the? So my donkey dad keeps taking away my...
Sammy is replacing bases in Steel of Brain Rot because since it's now 2026, Sammy saw that the game was getting old and boring as everything has been the same since 2025. The maps, bases, shops, and brain rots haven't changed at all. Tons of players were quitting and getting bored since the game was getting very boring. Sammy realized this, and he started doing tons of research on how he could change the game to make everyone happy for 2026. And since Sammy constantly copies other features from games, something he did with the fishing system from Fish It and the WL Brain Rot from Plants vs. Brain Rots, he thought of the dumb idea of doing this again, but instead with Grow a Garden, a game that literally no one plays anymore as its player counts have dropped by millions. Hackers dug deep into the game files and discovered what Sammy is planning to do using Grow a Garden. Sammy is going to replace all of the bases in the game with gardens, and it will be like Grow a Garden as you can plant your brain rot anywhere in the space, instead of the current bases where it has a spot you must put it in. Sammy is replacing bases in...
I can't get this candle wax out of my hair. So a few days ago, I put candle wax in my hair, and I've tried everything I can think of to try and get it out, but nothing has worked. So today, I've come up with a few more desperate ideas to try and get it out. Starting off with a pretty dangerous one, my first idea was to put a bunch of leftover candles on my head and light them all up to try and melt it off, because this is the only thing that kind of worked last time. But once they melted all down, it just left a bunch of small holes with burned hair in it and didn't do much of anything else. And that was my only idea that didn't involve shaving it off or major hair damage, so I grabbed some scissors and an electric shaver to try and shave all of my hair off. But just before I did, I realized I'd rather have damaged hair than no hair, so instead I tried using my curling iron and hair dryer contraption again, except this time wiping off the melted wax before it dries again. And it was actually working pretty well, but was also taking a very long time, so long that by the time I even got some of it off, it was nighttime, so I went to bed with it still in my hair, which was very uncomfortable. And after a rough night, when I woke up, I went right back at it again until I got most of it out, then went to the shower, turned the heat to max, and used a ton of oil and conditioner to slowly get the rest out, along with a lot of my hair. And now I finally don't have candle wax in my hair anymore, but my hair definitely has heat damage, and I don't know if it'll be the same ever again. I can't get this candle wax out of my hair.
Please
send me laughing disco. How long would you survive without these organs? Without a lung, you can relax, because you could live to old age just without doing much physical effort. But without a nose, your life expectancy would only be about 59 to 65 years. Without a liver, things get worse. Without medical treatment, you'd survive just 2 days. And without skin, you'd have much less time. You'd last between 6 and 20 hours of pain. On the other hand, without a stomach, believe it or not, you could live more than 70 years. Similar to living without a kidney. With just one healthy kidney, you can live a normal life, but without a heart pumping blood to your organs, you'd only survive about 10 minutes. And without a tongue, with a lot of training, you could live to around 50 years. Finally, without a brain, you'd die in about 5 minutes because you wouldn't be able to control your body. How long would you survive without the...
Times when Speed acted way too weird with Kai Cenat. First was Speed's 19th birthday. He invited a girl, Aiden and Kai. Speed started acting so suspicious that the girl got confused. Kai and Auden couldn't handle the cringe and literally walked off camera just to escape.
Why would you do that?
Next, Speed lost his voice during a Minecraft marathon, but he kept screaming until he sounded exactly like Mickey Mouse. Kai just couldn't control his laugh.
Yes, I've been up for 31 hours, and I've been yelling because of your...
But the wildest was the car stream. Kai and Speed were vibing as Mario and Luigi. Then Speed started hitting some zesty moves. Kai's smile vanished instantly. He looked completely uncomfortable. Times when Speed acted way too weird with Kai.
They panicked because the pool suddenly closed while they were swimming. Their friend up top quickly tried to force it open, but couldn't because the pool cover had sealed shut again. So what's actually going on here? And could this become your new fear? You could actually get trapped if no one knows you're in there when the pool closes, especially if the cover closes automatically. These pool covers are super strong. You can even run on them, and there was even someone who tried putting a Tesla Cybertruck on top of one. So if you accidentally get trapped underneath, it's gonna be really hard to tear your way out. Someone who gets stuck will feel
claustrophobic and eventually drown from exhaustion or running out of air. They panicked because the pool suddenly closed while they were swimming. Their friend up top.
Everybody say yippee yo and yippee yeah.
Logan Paul and KSI brought back the Halloween Prime flavor, Glowberry, for a second year in a row. The only problem is there's a rare limited edition bottle that's only available if you buy it in retail stores. So I can't buy it online. So I guess I gotta go out of my house. So I went to my local Kroger store and went hunting. They have this big ass Prime X cutout. I low-key wanna steal this, but that's not what I'm looking for. Nope. These aren't it. Damn, they don't have the Glowberry here. So the next day I checked again and went to a different Kroger store. What the heck? Minecraft apples? Okay, I'm getting distracted. So after looking for a while, damn, they got a whole ass cutout for the Glowberry flavor here. I low-key want to steal this too. They have a huge selection of Prime X, WWE Prime, and now they have the Glowberry